بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Mufti Taqi Sahib, Hafidhahullah, he mentions a story regarding Maulana Habibur Rahman, rahmatullahi alayh. So he was the head teacher of Darul Deoband and he passed away in 1956. So he mentions the story, he says that what happened was that now Darul Deoband has been expanded significantly. In that time it was probably expanded, but it was quite small compared to what we have today. So they purchased some land, adjacent land to the madrasa. And when the person who had sold the land to the madrasa, he passed away. So the land was sold to the madrasa, and this person passed away. The children or the brother or the relatives of this person, he came to Maulana Habibur Rahman, rahmatullahi alayh, and he started making a big fuss that this is our property, it's our inheritance, you guys have started using it. We started making a whole, so he said to him, so in the masjid or in the public area, the classroom, he started making a whole fiasco. So Maulana said to him that, just take it easy, stay calm, come in the office, we'll speak. But he just refused to. And people there also wanted do you even know who you're speaking to? Don't you have any adab, any respect, any kind of tamyiz to speak, So Maulana said, just leave him alone. So he let him blow off all of his steam. And afterwards he goes, just come in the office, have some water, and we can speak. Now obviously he blew all his steam. He's got nothing else to say, so he's like, okay, what's he going to do? Maulana said anything. And just remember that whenever you have, he says it takes two hands to clap. One hand can't clap by itself. Whenever you have a fight, you have a debate, you have a discussion, you have an argument, it takes two people. Maybe one person is right, and the other person may be wrong. But the other person also is that you gave, even if you don't move your hand, you keep your hand there. Sometimes you just stay calm. You just ignore something, you just do a bit of sabr. In the long run, it gives a lot of benefit. Just to digress a bit. There was people believe in a lot of these ta'weez. If you have these special portions or formulae to solve problems, don't do anything. Don't pray salah, don't give zakah, don't go for hajj, don't rectify your akhlaq, don't worry about your anger, don't worry about how you behave. Just read something. Or even worse, just hang it on your neck. That'll solve all your problems. It's not that easy. So one person came to this sheikh and he said that, me and my husband, this woman, she came and she said, we always have problems when we have fights. So I need some kind of, special. He goes, he understood, he heard the whole story, he understood what's going on. He got a special portion for you. Again, sometimes people don't listen, so you have to explain. He goes, this is some water. I've blown some special thing and I prayed so much Quran on it. What you do is that every time your husband comes home and he gets angry at you, you just drink the water and keep it in your mouth. Yes? Drink the water, keep it in your mouth. Don't swallow it. Just keep it in your mouth until your husband's anger, whatever, it goes away. And it's guaranteed to work. So obviously. So you drink the water, you say your mouth, you can't speak now, innit? And if you swallow it, if you swallow it, it won't work. So she's keeping the water in the mouth so she can't argue. So he might be getting angry, but her mouth is quiet. So now after one day, 2 days, 3 days, then there's no fight. And I think afterwards she realized, this is not any parilupani. This is just normal. Just keep my mouth shut. But the sheikh, he patawed me. Yeah, he just made me understand in a very simple way. So to have a fight, you have to have two people involved. So sometimes you have to realize, even if you're right, maybe right now is not the time to just give. Say, okay, you know what? I'm right now and he's wrong, but let him blow his steam off. Or she's right now, she's wrong, but let me just let it happen. So he aims to blow his steam. I came inside, and he told the student, gave him some water, and then he told one of the students, go in that filing cabinet. There's the paperwork, and he showed him on the paperwork that we bought this property. This is the money. This is the signature. This is the land proof. Everything was done, and that person was then. He was a bit embarrassed, humiliated, but then he said nothing. A misunderstanding, no problem. You got the paperwork. It's been sold. This is the money. This is the amount. Receipt. Everything is writing, and go ahead. So from this, we learn a few things. Number one is, sometimes you just stay calm. You just swallow your anger. Even if you think you're being humiliated, in the end, man tawada'a lillah rafa'ahu Allah. You swallow your anger, you think somebody's telling you off, shouting at you, somebody's saying, just stay calm. When the time comes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will elevate you and give you the raf and the izzah. Number two is, obviously in the Quran is, فَلْيَكْتُبْ بَيْنَكُمْ كَاتِبٌ بِالْعَدْلِ. When you do any transactions, which are documented. Don't ever trust, that's what you remember. It's not what comes in the muntakhabat. Ta'asharu kal ikhwan. When you deal with each other, deal like brothers. Feed each other, greet each other, hadaya, gifts and everything. But when you do mu'amalat, when you're dealing with each other, then what do? Then make sure you deal as ajanib. That this, my brother is my brother and I love him, But if he was a person I do not know at all, how would I deal with him? Put it in writing, document it, make everything clear. Because when everything is clear, then in the end you don't have any problems. Sometimes people get very, very close, family members or friends, and they trust each other too much. What happens? You get misunderstanding, you get a confusion, somebody passes away. I've heard of a situation where somebody bought a piece of land from a relative. It wasn't written, they didn't transfer it, goes, kindly, I'll do it later on. And now, person passed away, can't find it, the son says, well, you say it's your word against mine, we don't know any proof that dad sold you the land. Now, the other person angry, but how do you solve this case? Do you understand? So, keep everything in writing. In Gujarati say, Lakanu tamacharu. If it's maktub, you can become maqru later on. If it's written, you can read it later on. So whenever you have any transactions, any dealings, we should keep everything in writing. Similarly, people borrow money from you, lend money from you. Nowadays, it's very easy. Just send a WhatsApp message, borrowed £5, and I replied, received. So then it's documented, and you forgot, it's here. And it can happen. I remember once I was going for Umrah, and nowadays it's very easy, much more easier. But in a couple, 10 years ago, to get the visa, particularly coming from Barbados, to get the visa is very difficult. You had to go to Venezuela and all that kind of stuff. So that day, that's before my father passed away as well. So he was supposed to go for Umrah, but what happened was, they couldn't get the visa. Now the last day, my mom was proper stressed out. My mom, my dad, they can't get the visa. They're going to come, not come, this, that. So one of my relatives came, and he gave me some. I was so thinking my money was completely blank. Yeah, he gave me some money for something, I think for Zamzam or Kajur or whatever, and I just took it from my pocket. And that time my mom was on the visa. My parents were going to be able to come or not come. Unfortunately, they didn't get it. Taqdeer of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now I came back from Umrah. I bought the Kajur, and it just slipped my mind that I had put the money in my pocket. Now I'm thinking, okay, I know he's very particular in his dealings, but he hasn't paid me yet. Should we mention to him that you need to pay for the Kajur? And later on they're thinking, okay, is there any change from the Kajur? We gave him a good set of money, and I completely fell. And then after we went, we think, and he goes, I gave it to you, and then I can't remember all. And I know this person is very trustworthy. And then he jogged my memory, and he goes, I gave it at the door, you put it in your right pocket. I started thinking, I goes, yeah, that's right, you're right. And I never doubted that person. Alhamdulillah, he's a very good person. But you forget, you understand? So it's always best to document stuff. Alhamdulillah, if somebody else, what's going to happen? It's only £100, £200, but whatever it was. But that could become you have a family, you're so close for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and then over a small amount of money or some misunderstanding, what could happen? You end up breaking relationship, breaking ties, you get put off, you get hurt. Alhamdulillah, again, I'm saying it can happen. So what's always best? فَلْيَكْتُبْ كَاتِبٌ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْعَدْلِ. So you have any dealings, any transaction, keep it in writing and keep things very clear. And don't ever trust that. Oh, yes, okay, we just brought this, because the more problems happen, the closer you are. Yes, I remember when you're close and there's something breaks off, then you have a glass and the glass cracks, you can put it together again, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to be the same as before. So when you have two brothers in a business together, so when you do business together, you decide that no, we can work together. Still make sure it's very clear, very clear, who's profits, who's working. Then when you have your own children, sometimes families want to live very intertwined. Mufti Mahmud Ushmani rahmatullahi alayhi used to say that one of the reasons that families have big problems sometimes is you try to live too close. When you live very close, then what happens? Things happen. And when you break up, it becomes very bad to come back together. They say, okay, we live together, do business together, everything is together, get involved so much. And then obviously when you get involved so much for a long period of time, what happens? Something's going to happen. And you get so close, you get so tied up, then one thing happens and it breaks off and it's completely we don't talk to each other anymore. It's best you just have clarity, even if you keep a distance, but once having mahabba, love, interaction, everything. But say, no, this is your house, this is my house. We come, we meet, and we say every day, we have our space. So make sure when you're dealing, be far-sighted. That what could happen in the future. Sometimes inheritance. Okay, how do we solve this problem? Don't just look today. So what's tadbir? Look at dubar al-amr, the ending result. What's going to happen in the end? What could this lead to consequentially? Do you understand? So when you're dealing with people, this is what Sharia teaches. That be very, have clarity in your dealings, clarity in your transactions, and make sure that there is no where shaitan can come in between and cause a problem between brothers, between sisters, between parents, between siblings, between cousins. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us ability to act upon this. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.